today I'm going to be showing you my Magicka Ganker nightblade build. So let's get into it. Alright, so first we're going to go through the sets I use. So it's going to be 2-piece Balorg, 5-piece Akriti, only active on the front bar with the staff, because we don't want it to proc on the back bar. And then we have 5 Calurians, 5 Calurians on the body. So we have 3 Infuse, all on the big pieces with Triglyph and Enchant for maximum stats. And then we have 4 Divine on the small pieces to increase our crit damage. Because that's what this build is about, it's about crit damage. And then on the back bar we have the Maelstrom Restoration Staff, or mostly sustain. We are Vampire stage 2 usually, and we use the Bewitched Sugar Skull. And most of the time, since we don't have a way to get major sorcery, we just use the Alliance Point spell drop and unstore try Restoration Potion in case we get into a pickle. Mundus is obviously the shadow for increased crit damage. The difference between 4 pieces of Divine and all 7 is barely 1%. With 7 Divine you can get 15%, but I don't think it's worth it. So that's why I use 3 infused pieces for the increased health, stamina, and Magicka. So we have around on the stat 30k Magicka, 20k stamina, 33k on the front and back bar. Magicka recovery is 1200, or so bad. Health recovery, that's because of the CP passive, I believe it's that high. On the back bar I use Conspicuous Poisons just to pull some nightblades out of stealth. Front bar is Shock Enchant for the chance to get minor vulnerability on the target. So with this patch, critical damage has gained more popularity because it's much harder to get crit chance now, but there's less defense against crits, there's less crit mitigations. So chasing crits is, a good way to get really good burst damage. And so since we are running mechanical Akriti, we don't need to chase a high crit chance, since we get guaranteed crit on our first attack out of stealth, and the follow-up as well, which is what gives us most of our damage. Calorian is more of a supporting set to our damage. You could replace it with something else, but I feel this set is a very nice burst set as well. Balorg we can also replace with Zan. That's what I used to run before, especially for tanky targets. This is a better alternative, but with Balorg, since I'm using the CP that if I roll my ultimate and on 500 I get crazy HP regen, I feel that Balorg will make the most out of that when I decide to dump it, is to go all offensive, and it gives me a huge boost of penetration and weapon damage. Usually if I have 500 health I can easily one-shot 40k HP werewolf and the like. We are running 2 Magicka recovery glyph. That's just quality of life. If you feel you don't need the Magicka recovery, you can always go spell damage. Now let's take a look at the champion points. I have like 1050 CP, so I'm not optimized at all. So I had to make some sacrifices. So let me show you. So I'm just gonna show you the one I slot, because the rest is up to your liking depending on how much CP you have. I would prioritize those that reduce the damage you take right here. and what else? And the active that you can slot. Yeah. So right now I have Deadly Aim, which increased the damage per second target since we are a single target ganker. Fighting Finesse for that extra crit damage, which is you know what the whole build revolves around is crit damage. That's why we have Khajiit as well. Khajiit needs, I mean, if you want to go for full crit damage, Khajiit will be the best. You can always go with damage like high health, or even Oak now that they reworked their passive. Backstabber, this is huge, 15% critical damage if you're attacking from the flank. Those two are must-have passive right here. Those two crit passive. And then this is more same things, quality of life thing, where it's like reduce damage from single target. Yeah. Then for red tree, we have Slippery, the auto CC break thing. This is same thing, just quality of life, and it helps with sustain since you don't have to spend your stamina to break free. It's mostly a sustain passive. Then we have Juggernaut, which gives a 10% damage reduction after CC break. This is I think this is a really good passive also for all kinds of builds. Then we have Strategic Reserve, which is the longer you hold your ultimate, the more health recovery you have. Now, this passive is pretty much, you can always swap it with Rejuvenation, which gives you about 150 to all of your regeneration, which can be better. But I feel that since I'm running Balog and I like to hold my ultimate unless I really needed to take down a tanky target, it really is really nice, and it synergizes well with which I'm gonna show later, is the skills that we have, since we run Simmering Frenzy, which reduce your health. So if you have a high health recovery, you can basically get 3 to 4 tick of this without your health getting down. So that means like an increase of almost 80% of the 660 weapon damage without your health going down, which can be quite nice. Let's get back to the CP. Then the other one that I have is the Boundless Vitality. That's just same thing. I feel like you take much more damage dispatch, so you need a bit more wiggle room to play with. That's why I want the extra health, so I can go above the 30k mark. This is also a flex part as well. You can always slip. I was playing around with Expert Evasion as well. That's a very nice sustain passive. To combine both of them, it's really easy to get out of sticky situation when you're ganking. And this Boundless Vitality also allows you to not get one-shot yourself by people. Now you are very susceptible to AoE damage on this build, so you can almost get deleted if you get leaped on. So you gotta be very, very careful. This patch damage is very high overall. Then the green tree is pretty self-explanatory. There's only a few passive worth slotting, which is gonna be the movement speed bonus, the cost reduction to sneak, which I think we have legitimate to max as well. Yes, right here. So that's like a 90% reduced cost of sneak. So you really want that as a Magicka ganker, since the stamina pool is very limited compared to a stamina ganker. Then you have liquid efficiency. This is the same thing, quality of life, chance not to consume a potion, and then this for extra time on your food. Fall damage burst, and then the reduce the detection range on you, which is always nice. Now let's check out the skills that we have. So we have elemental weapon, This is your main combo along with Concealed Weapon. Those two usually will hit together, or you can, you know, hit with a Solar Vest as well. Then you have Simmering Frenzy. I usually just... Some people like to run Fighters Guild one, which gives a 5% increase. I found that if you're running a full proc ganker with only proc sets, which is no crit build, with I think it's Flame Blossom. Yes, Flame Blossom right here. This is a very popular build as well. I think then Expert Hunter would be the best, but since we're running a crit ganker, which relies on weapon damage and crit damage, this ability buffs on average 10%. It gives 10% extra damage to your elemental weapon, concealed weapon, and Solar Harvest. So I think it's better than just buffing my one proc set, Calurians, by 5%. And all my abilities, I get an extra damage from those right here. Impale we use for finishing target. I find that, you know, when you gank a lot of time, people just start blocking. This is great to go through blocking targets. Does a lot of damage as soon as they're under 25%, which is really easy to get on this build. And then we have Cloak to go around and get that insta crit and you know, be all sneaky and shit. Then we have Solar Harvest. This is a great ultimate if you want to take down tanky target. The only issue, which I don't understand why they kept it that way, is the cast time. This skill doesn't have stun, it doesn't have anything else, just damage, single target ability, damaging single target ability. And yeah, it has a cast time. I have no idea why. And so many times I've missed one shot because of the cast time of this ability. So you have to kind of work it out in your combo, since the more ultimate you have, the longer the cast also is. Then the back bar, we have Dampen Magic. This is for protection, gives you a pretty substantial shield. Siphoning attacks, that's for Magicka sustain. Rapid regen, this is what's gonna proc our Maelstrom staff, which is gonna give us in turn more Magicka regen. Race Against Time, this is a extra crit damage, as well as snare removal, as well as a way to get more major expedition. Then we have Shadow Image. This is the other ganker. You do need this. This is your get out of jail free card, basically. If any sticky situation you get, you can get out of it, or you can, you know, set up your gank, like you drop your shade, choose your target, kill that target, and then when there's 15 people around that target that you're about to kill, you can just dip out and the press of a button, which is I think a must-have on any gank build. You'll see in some of the clips I'm gonna show after this build video. This skill saves my life more than once. It allows you to kill targets in the middle of groups, which is very nice. And then this is Temporal Guard. This is a good reset ultimate if you get caught in a sticky situation, and also just to get a passive damage resistance. And I think that is it for the build. I think our crit damage modifier is about 120-115% extra damage, which is huge, especially in this patch where a lot of people have much less crit mitigation, and crit mitigation is harder to come by. So yeah, now I'm gonna show you a few clips of the build in action. Bye bye, enjoy.
Hello there.
Yeah, boy.
Nice.
Look at all this damage!